So we've just witnessed the Belgian Grand Prix qualifying. What a brilliant qualifying it was, and thank you for joining me for the review today. Just before I get into the review, what happened in qualifying today, just some news ahead of the weekend to bring to you. Audi have announced that they will be engine manufacturers for the 2026 Formula One Championship. They've not announced who that will be with. You'll see my last video. I believe they were going to come in as the sole manufacturers in engine and chassis, but they've announced that they will just be engine manufacturers at this stage, likely to be Sauber, but I'll go into that another video. The Oscar Piastri saga looks like it should come to some sort of end on Monday. The CRB are going to announce their decision on where they believe he has a valid contract. Alpine seem pretty bullish on their part, so let's see how that plays out and if that will bring it to an end, or will we end up in the High Court like Alpine said. Some penalties ahead of qualifying, a lot of engine penalties for this race. Team seeing that this is an opportunity where you can do overtake and make your way forward. The two championship title battles really, Max Verstappen are the big one. He's taken his penalty, 20 place grid penalty for him. Charles Leclerc also taking an engine penalty with some engine parts being changed. Valtteri Bottas also, Lando Norris, Ocon, and Mick Schumacher, he's having a gearbox change, so 15 place for him as well. So that brought us to qualifying, and it was a bit of a funny one really, because you knew there was penalties going on. You weren't really quite sure where the pole was, but Max Verstappen has been absolutely mega this weekend. For qualifying, he was just absolutely miles ahead of everybody. So he actually qualified on pole, about 6/10 ahead of Carlos Sainz, who will actually take his position and work out on pole position. So let's see what happens. At the start, it'll be fantastic. So Carlos Sainz in P1, Sergio Perez in P2, and Fernando Alonso in P3. How we'll line up as the top three for tomorrow's race. Lewis Hamilton's going to be in 4th place. George Russell in 5th. Alex Albon taking up his 6th place. Danny Rick 7th. Gasly 8th. Stroll 9th. Vettel 10th. Latifi is going to be in 11th, Magnussen 12th, Yuki Tsunoda in 13th, Bottas 14th, and then we've got the penalties kicking into place. So Max Verstappen will actually start in 16th place. Right behind him will be Charles Leclerc. Funny how they've both ended up right behind each other on that. Ocon in 17th. Norris 18th, Zhu in 19th, and Mick Schumacher starting last. The big pressure coming into the qualifying, actually, it was all about Perez and Sainz giving the penalties for the top two leaders, and see who come out front on that one. Bit of a shame, really. Perez just didn't seem to be on it. It was about 8 or 9 tenths in the end behind his teammate Max Verstappen, which is significant. You can't have your teammate that far behind, and that'll sort of put pressure on him, given the comments from the team leaders there. I forgot his name now, but he was putting massive pressure on, saying he'd already gone on holiday at the summer break, Perez, and he kind of hoping that he'd come rejuvenated after that break and be right up there with Max Verstappen, but he's miles off the pace, which is a bit surprising there. So Sainz won that battle of the second drivers in their team effectively, with Max and Leclerc, the team leaders, really, in my view, and the fastest two drivers for both teams, right up at the front. Probably seems a bit unfair that on Sainz because he's been unlucky, but that's the way I feel it lies. So yeah, we've looked like we've got a cracking race for tomorrow. I mean, Perez and Sainz will be interesting going into the new first corner here at Spa, see how that plays out. And then we've got the old battle, the old rivalry, Alonso and Hamilton, 3rd and 4th. Let's see how that plays out. So I'm really looking forward to that. We've got a really mixed up grid. It should be interesting to see how Max and Leclerc can make it up through the field. I imagine I've got money on Verstappen definitely being on the podium. I won't surprise me if he wins it, especially with some team orders for Perez. I mean, even not that, with the pace that advantage has had over them, it just looks like he'll be up there in no time. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you for the race tomorrow with a review, and I'll see you there tomorrow. Thanks for watching the Most Boring Man on YouTube.